The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the Way FM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. We know it's early.
I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here.
It's news-ish.
So let's make the best of it.
With Betty Rock on The Wally Show.
Gavin, I don't think I told you this, but when I was 16, no, earlier than that, when I was 15, getting my driver's permit, my parents were like, it would be a good idea for you to go and get actual driving classes.
Okay. I do remember taking those in high school. I think they're really beneficial.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So going to public school, I think they offer them, but I went to a really podunk private school, and so that was
how
not
to drive
even
a goat.
Right. It wasn't even an option. So anyways, I went and I got this done, and I remember specifically one interaction where I was driving the car and I had my instructor in the passenger seat. I'm in the driver's seat, and this car has two sets of brakes and gas pedals. It has two sets of steering wheels. Okay. We're at a red light and it turns green and I need to go left. Well, I just assume it's green. I get to go. And I remember gassing up to go, and the instructor slammed on the brakes, and he was like, ah! And it was because I had to wait for the traffic that wanted to go straight to go through.
Yeah.
And I was about to make a huge disaster of a mess.
That's the only situation in my life, other than getting rear-ended and almost dying last year, that I've gotten in an accident. And I literally locked eyes with the guy because I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going. And then he hit my pilot at the time.
So you were going left at an intersection.
Yeah, but I didn't have the right of way. Didn't have the arrow.
Now see, this brings up some great valid points, and it supports what the civil engineer expert is saying. This expert is claiming that we should ban all left turns, especially during rush hour. So he even brings that's a tough word. He brings statistics into the situation. And he said that you don't realize how detrimental left turns actually turn out to be, because he said over half of accidents at an intersection involve left turns.
Well, there's because people like you and I who think they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
And don't.
And he said even half of the accidents at the intersection involving a left turn, half of those turn out to involve injuries as well. And so do you think, because you have to consider left turns at an intersection, if we let go of them, okay, then that means you're going to have to take 3 right turns.
Yeah, you have to go 1 block further, turn right, turn right, turn right, and then you're getting there. I don't think so, because the left turn, yes, obviously there's danger involved because we aren't always smart. We're always in a hurry.
Right.
But I think that would put more emphasis on people speeding, because they have to factor in basically 3 more minutes of their life.
Do you think? Or would it be more speeding because we don't factor in time and that we're all running late? We're all taking rights and we're doing Fast and Furious situations over here.
Be drifting around the neighborhood.
Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of, even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU, was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner.
Getting you caught up. It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
I grew up an Air Force kid, so I moved every 2 or 3 years. How many times have you moved in your life?
Maybe 6, 7.
Oh, like states or like I'm talking
no,
like
not states.
Which I
No.
won't discount. I won't discount the moving from like an apartment or a house to another.
Okay.
One. Those
Well,
are
if we
bad.
eliminate that, then probably 3.
Okay, well, relocating is one of the biggest life changes you can make, and I think you'd agree with that. And it generally comes at great cost, whether it's leaving friends and family or literal cost financially of moving somewhere. But some cities are actually apparently willing to pay you to relocate if you're interested and qualify.
Why are they wanting to do this? Because they
So-
don't have enough people?
So it's because you have these cities, a lot of these cities have had a hard time growing because people don't necessarily want to, spend their entire lives there.
Yeah.
They, if you take, for example, Nashville, the city that we live in or near.
We can't get rid of people.
People want to come here, but if you take, a smaller town in, Tennessee, not as many people want to go there. So
Got
a lot
it.
of cities are like that. And so to qualify for these programs, you need to work remotely from another state, be a U.S. citizen, be 18 or older, which makes sense. And you have to be willing to relocate as soon as you are selected. So first off, and we're talking like decent money for this relocation, West Virginia, the state itself, which again, I don't know a ton of people from there who are talking about wanting to go
Joy
there.
from Afternoons is from West Virginia.
Ruth, our good friend Ruth, I think too.
Ruth Ann Marie.
They're great people. They're willing to pay you $12,000 plus an outdoor recreation package. That's the sell for me. If you want to move there and enter a co-working space, so kind of like renting an office, but you have to choose specific counties out there. Tulsa, Oklahoma, which again, Oklahoma's a tough one, but I actually do like Tulsa. $10,000 after you purchase a qualifying home.
Wow.
If you go out there. If you go to Topeka, Kansas, not a lot of people thinking of Topeka, Kansas. $10,000 for rent if you move out there. Baltimore, which is a tough city because it's got its dangers, but it's got its fun. They're willing to pay $5,000 to you to help with the down payment. And then here's the one for anyone who's really wanting a big life change. Ketchikan, Alaska is offering, it's only $2,000.
No.
And this is great. 3 months of free internet if you move out there.
Have you seen the price of eggs out there or price of milk, cereal,
Really?
anything? Yeah. Like in Alaska, because
Yeah.
they have to ship everything over, it's so expensive. I've seen it on TikTok. Like you get a dozen eggs and it's like $18.
But-
it's ridiculous.
But if you love snow, if you love freezing to death, if you love again
Not seeing
high prices,
anyone?
there's probably
if you
like
like the danger of being eaten by a bear?
grizzly bears are a fun attraction, I hear.
Uplifting Way FM, it's the Wally Show. And Gavin, I recently went to downtown Nashville. I went to, what did I go to? It was Winter Jam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of fun. But that's the last time I went to downtown Nashville. Now, you've been more recently.
Yes.
What is it that you like?
I like going down. Ironically, as a guy who didn't grow up listening to country music, the Country Music Hall of Fame is actually phenomenal. The downtown Nashville is chaos, but this place feels like it's a calm in the chaos. Even though there's a lot of people there, they're respectful. It's a museum, so you're not hooting and hollering. But it actually is cool because the history of the genre is interesting. The artists are interesting. Like you love country music.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The people are great.
I think people go for the environment.
Yes.
Especially, but there's so much to see, so many restaurants to go to as well, and you actually get the chance to experience Nashville for yourself. We are giving away 2 tickets to the Dove Awards. It includes round trip flights to Nashville, a $300 gift card, which you may want to spend at one of our local restaurants, a hotel room for 3 nights stay, plus premium awards show tickets. So this is all available for you, and maybe here's the great thing too. It's only 2 tickets, so if you've got kids and you're like, we need a break from the kids.
It's a getaway.
It's like I have an excuse. I'm sorry, I can't take you. It's just me and the spouse, me and the hubs over here. So it's easy to get your name into the drawing. You can do it right now.
Yep, just text the word Dove, D-O-V-E, to 91979. That's texting Dove to 91979.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. It's what your People magazine would sound like with a Southern accent. It's the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
It's happening. It's happening this weekend, actually. It's Hallmark's Christmas in July.
Oh, I don't know why the older I get, the better that actually does sound.
Really?
To me. Yeah, because
Now-
I'm all about Christmas.
Is your wife the same?
No. If I went home to her and I said, hey, we're going to put up the tree this month
And watch Hallmark
and watch
movies?
Hallmark movies about Christmas when it's 102 degrees outside, she might call me crazy. And I might be.
But you know what? You're not alone in being crazy because it has to be a fan favorite. I mean, they're doing this. They're going to play starting Saturday. They're going to start playing fan favorite movies. I don't know which ones, but the return of some of the fan favorite movies. They're also going to premiere a new reality series called Christmas at Sea. Okay, and if you're wondering, what does that mean? Well, it means that there's a 4-part docuseries, and it's all about the very first Christmas cruise that Hallmark did for their listeners.
Did they really?
Last year.
Oh, cool.
So I guess you get to follow along for 4 episodes, and maybe this will get more people to want to sign up for this year.
How do you put a Christmas tree farm on a cruise, though?
Right? I don't know. Remember, we talked about this in some Rock Reports. I believe maybe it was last year, but they were doing like a cookie decorating contest, things like that, and you get to dress up and hopefully meet the love of your life. I have no idea. But also, did you know, just like any other streaming, any other TV channel, Hallmark has its own streaming channel.
That makes sense.
Hallmark Plus, okay? And
It's always a plus.
yes, of course. And they had a film series on the streaming platform that you could only get there, but now they are releasing it on their channel so you can see it now, and it's called Unwrapping Christmas, and it's 4 new movies. Okay, so I of course had to look it up and see what are the titles.
I can't wait.
And I'm only looking it up to make fun of it.
Oh, come on, boo. Where's your Christmas in July spirit?
It died a long time ago. Okay, so we're getting Tina's Miracle. We're getting Maya's Prince.
Okay.
Also, Lily's Destiny.
Where's the
And,
alliteration?
and Olivia's Reunion.
Okay, good for all the ladies.
Exciting. Am I right?
I'm cheering for love in all of their lives.
Well, you're alone in this room because I'm like, turn on Dateline. I'm over it. Uplifting Way FM, it's the Wally Show. Gavin, if you had to name your favorite go-to show.
Right now? Oh, man. I think that I would go with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is the easy winner for me.
He's got a 10-month-old?
10 months old. It's the only thing. You flip that on. Hey, everybody. It
Whoa, that's really good.
It lights his face up, and so that makes me happy. I have to admit, that's the only thing I watch these days.
Wow. Okay. Well, yours and mine greatly
I
differ
know.
because mine would be Dateline. I'm a big fan of Dateline, especially when it comes to Keith Morrison.
Hello, I'm Keith Morrison, and this is a Dateline mini mystery.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Why? What's the
I don't
one
know.
sentence
He's
draw?
got the perfect voice for it to narrate. Also, he's just an older gentleman, and I just think he brings some kind of mystery to. I don't know.
Can you imagine if it was, hey, everybody, it's a murder mystery?
That's really good, honestly. But it's interesting to say this. I never thought I'd put these together, but recently, Keith Morrison, I wrote a blog about how that show, Dateline, kept me company in my recent battle with COVID. I got COVID for a second time. That's just part of the story, okay? Just part of the story is Keith Morrison. But the other part is on my Instagram, I had asked people, hey, ask me a couple of questions, keep me company. And I got a serious question. And one of them was, how do you stay strong as a single Christian woman? Okay. And I'm sure you've had that situation where someone has asked you a question and you're like, actually, I need a minute to reflect on that.
Which I think is smart because if you don't have time to think, you're going to give maybe not your best answer. So for you to have that second to develop something, especially for someone who's seeking help.
Right, exactly. And I had COVID brain working against me.
That's also true.
So I had to put Dateline on pause and really think about this question. But I had 3 things that really stuck out to me. And if you're in a season of waiting, maybe it's not for, in my particular situation, it's being single at 40. But for you, it could be a job. It could be funds. It could be health. It could be just for a miracle in itself. Maybe you are in that season. I would love for you to check out my newest blog that I wrote, and you can actually see it when you text the word single to 91979. That's single to 91979. And you can see how Keith Morrison might heal your heart and your soul. That's single to 91979. Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.